Okay, so you know that feeling. Getting ready for a job interview, you've got the outfit, the resume's all polished, but
Yeah.
then those tricky interview questions start playing on repeat in your head.
Like you're about to walk into a verbal obstacle course, right?
Exactly. It's like, are they trying to trip me up or see how I think on my feet?
Well, it's a bit of both, actually. It's about those soft skills, the ones that don't fit neatly on a resume. How you handle pressure, how you think critically.
Ah, got it. So that's what we're diving into today, right? Helping our listeners decode those tricky questions and walk into their next interview feeling confident.
Exactly. And we've got a great source for this. There's this YouTube video, Top 7 Trick Interview Questions, from a channel called Career Vids. They're all about acing those interviews.
Okay, love it. So they break down these common but kind of scary questions, even give some example answers. Let's dig in. What's the first one that makes everyone sweat a bit?
Well, they kick off with a classic. When have you failed?
Ooh, yeah. My instinct is to pretend I've never made a mistake in my life, but that's probably not the right move.
Not quite. Everyone makes mistakes, right? Interviewers are looking for honesty. Did you own it? What did you learn? That kind of thing.
Right, so like turning a mistake into a learning experience.
Exactly. The YouTuber actually says saying, I've never failed is a one-way ticket to not hired land.
Ouch. Okay, so what do they suggest instead?
Choosing a specific example where you messed up, but then, importantly, what you did to fix it, they say to focus on honesty and taking responsibility.
Got it. So don't just list the mistake, but what you learned from it too. Do they give an example in the video?
They do. They talk about rushing a task in a previous job. They didn't fully understand the instructions and ended up making a mistake because of it.
Oh man, I've been there. Okay, but how they spin that into a positive.
Instead of blaming someone else, they owned up to it, apologized, double-checked the instructions, and then got it done right.
Ah, so it's about showing that you can learn from your mistakes, not that you're perfect.
Exactly. They even mention taking more detailed notes now to avoid similar mistakes. It shows they've grown from it.
Nice. Turning that oops moment into an aha moment.
Hmm.
Okay, what's tricky question number 2?
What was your worst job? It's a sneaky one.
It is, because my first thought is to launch into this whole dramatic story about that one summer job, but something tells me that's not what they're after.
You'd be right. It might be tempting to vent, but this question is really about your professionalism. Can you find a silver lining even in a bad situation?
So even if I had a truly awful job, I need to find a way to frame it positively.
You got it. The YouTuber's advice is brilliant, actually. They say to try something like, I've never had a terrible job because I'm always super careful about where I apply. I do my research to make sure the company's a good fit.
Oh, that's smart.
Huh.
So you're not bad-mouthing past employers, but you're showing that you're thoughtful about your career choices.
Exactly. And if you did have a job that wasn't a match, focus on what you learned. Did you gain any new skills? Did it help you figure out what you don't want in a workplace?
Right, like it wasn't the right fit, but it helped me realize that I'm more passionate about insert your passion here.
Exactly. Okay, are you ready for question number 3?
Get me?
How do you manage conflict?
Ooh, that's a tough one. My instinct is to, like, disappear and hope it goes away on its own. Not exactly a stellar strategy.
Probably not the best look in an interview, but it's understandable. This question's about navigating disagreements professionally, especially in a team setting. Can you be a problem solver?
So just saying, I tell my manager, isn't going to cut it.
It's good to keep your manager informed, especially if it's serious, but interviewers want to see that you can handle things directly with your colleagues, too. It shows initiative.
Makes sense. What does the YouTuber suggest?
Their top scoring answer is all about taking ownership. Like, here's my role in this situation. And then focusing on open communication to find a solution that works for everyone.
So it's not about avoiding conflict, but facing it head on.
Exactly. And they're not shying away from saying, hey, sometimes I struggle with this. But then they immediately follow it up with how they're working on it.
Oh, I like that. So acknowledging a potential weakness, but then bam,
Yeah.
showing how you're improving.
It's all about self-awareness and growth. Those are music to a hiring manager's ears.
Got it. Okay, bring on the next tricky question.
It takes real courage to say, hey, I mess this up sometimes. But it shows you're in touch with your own strengths and weaknesses.
Absolutely.
Uh,
Okay, what's the next curveball they throw at us in the video?
this one's a classic, what are your weaknesses? It's almost like they want you to sabotage yourself, right?
Right. Like, why would I reveal my flaws when I'm trying to impress them?
It's so counterintuitive. But again, it comes back to self-awareness. Nobody's perfect. Trying to pretend you are just makes you seem out of touch.
So saying I have no weaknesses is a big no-no.
Huge. You gotta be genuine. Pick a real weakness, but here's the key. Frame it in a positive light. How are you working on it? What are you doing to improve?
Framing is everything. So instead of I'm always late, it's I'm working on my time management skills.
Exactly. The YouTuber even gave a great example. They said one of their weaknesses is saying yes too much. Like, they overcommit and then feel overwhelmed.
Oh, I feel that in my soul. I'm a chronic overcommitter.
Right. But then they took it a step further and said they're working on setting better boundaries, learning to say no when they need to.
Smart. So it's not just about admitting the weakness, but showing that you're proactive about addressing it.
Exactly. Another example they gave was public speaking. They get nervous, but they're taking a course to improve those skills.
Love that. Okay, that actually makes this question seem less scary now. What's next?
Okay, this one seems deceptively simple, but it can trip you up if you're not careful what motivates you.
I feel like this one is a trap. Like,
Mm.
obviously I want a paycheck, but I can't just say that, right?
You'd be surprised how many people do. But yeah, solely focusing on money won't impress anyone. They want to see what gets you excited about the work itself.
Passion, purpose,
Hmm.
all that good stuff.
Precisely. The YouTuber's advice is to connect your personal motivations to your professional goals. For example, they said they're motivated by staying healthy, doing excellent work, and providing for their family.
Okay, I see how that works. It's all
Yeah.
connected.
Exactly. Taking care of your health gives you the energy to excel in your career, which then allows you to support your family. It's a win-win-win.
And it shows that you're thinking about the bigger picture, not just clocking in and out. Okay, I'm getting the hang of this. Hit me with another tricky question.
All right, how about this one? Why do you want this job? Seems straightforward, right?
It does, but I can already feel my mind going blank. It's like suddenly I forget why I even applied.
It's the pressure of the spotlight. But really, this is your chance to shine. You've got to convince them that you want this specific job at this specific company.
So I need a job is not going to cut it.
Probably not the winning ticket. This is about showing them that you've done your homework. Do you understand the role? What excites you about this company in particular?
Okay, so tailoring your answer is key here. What did the YouTuber say?
They really stressed connecting the dots for the interviewer. Highlight your skills, yes, but then explain how those skills align with what the company needs.
So it's about showing that you're not just blindly applying to every job posting you see.
Exactly. Did something specific about the company's mission resonate with you? Mention that. Have they won awards for their work culture? Bring it up.
So if they're all about sustainability and I'm passionate about the environment, that's a point of connection.
100%. It shows you're genuinely interested in what they're doing, not just looking for a paycheck.
Okay, this is making me rethink how I approach interview prep. This is great stuff. Okay, what's next? It's like they say you never get a second chance to make a first impression, but there's also something to be said about ending strong, right?
Yeah.
Especially in an interview.
It's all about those lasting impressions, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And we often forget about that crucial moment at the end of an interview, you know, when they ask if you have any questions.
Yes. The dreaded, do you have any questions for me?
Right. And I'll admit, I've totally been guilty of just wanting to wrap things up and saying, nope, you covered everything. But it sounds like that's a missed opportunity.
It definitely can be. Think about it. This is your chance to show them you're genuinely curious and engaged.
So saying no could actually work against me, even if I feel like they've answered everything.
It might make you seem indifferent or worse, unprepared. Remember, an interview is a two-way street. You're interesting them just as much as they're interviewing you.
That's a great point. It's about finding the right fit on both sides. Okay, so instead of that awkward silence or a rushed, no, what kind of question should I have up my sleeve?
The YouTuber had some really good ones. One that I loved was, what are the biggest challenges facing the team right now? It shows you're already thinking about solutions even before you have the job.
Ooh, that's a good one. It shows initiative. It's like you're already part of the team.
Exactly. Or you could ask something like, can you tell me more about the company culture? Or what opportunities are there for professional development?
Those are great. And I imagine asking about the next steps in the hiring process shows that you're eager and you're thinking ahead.
Exactly. It's all about demonstrating that you're invested and you're taking this seriously.
This has been eye-opening. I feel so much more prepared to tackle those tricky interview questions now. Thanks for diving into this with me.
Of course. Remember, these principles apply to any interview. Be prepared, be authentic, and be engaged. And most importantly, don't be afraid to let your personality shine through.
Love it. Be yourself, be confident, and go get them. Thanks for listening, everyone, and good luck with your next interview.